Cignetti went on to make a point about staff continuity, talked about Mike Shanahan, Brian Haynes being with him for 10 plus years, talked about Derek Owens. I think now this is like 6 or 7. Talked about Grant Kane being around for a long time as well. And that staff continuity, and like we've talked about on this specific show, on this show multiple times this year, like the fact that they were able to keep all those assistants, and we know Tino Sinceri ended up taking the promotion and taking the offensive coordinator job at UCLA, but to keep Brian Haynes, to keep Mike Shanahan in those leadership positions, just an insanely massive deal.
Yeah, to keep everyone after a season like that is unheard of.
Absolutely unheard of.
Curious to see how many guys of Arizona State's left.
Like we speculated,
staff or
like teams came calling. And they got stiff armed. He was asked about what they saw in Lee Beebe that made the Hoosiers target him in the transfer portal. He said Beebe was hard to tackle, very hard to tackle. Said it like 2 or 3 times. I said he always falls forward. Takes contact, falls forward. Obviously huge for a running back. And then he said, ever since he's been on campus, the guy's a worker. They actually have to slow him down in the weight room. Like he said, sometimes more isn't always more, and they have to stop him.
Yeah, that's stable running backs. It's pretty interesting. Lee Beebe. You think it's going to be – I've been thinking it's going to be Hemby and it's going to be real curious. It's going to be hot hand. It's going to be like Roman Hemby is not the clear number 1, which is kind of crazy to say. He's been the clear number 1 on the team that he left for years. Now he's just – it's like you remember, Penn State had a couple of good backs, and they still do this year. They're loaded. Ohio State had that good you need 2 really good backs to go far. Notre Dame had 2 really good backs.
You need at least 2 really good backs.
At least 2, because, you're going to face bumps and bruises throughout the season. So, I mean, having that stable, which is a huge upgrade, I think it needs to be addressed more, the fact that we have 3 legit guys that can get snaps this upcoming year. Obviously, we had the Black injury, and Elijah Green wasn't, for whatever reason, fitting in a little bit, except for garbage time. It just, having 3 legit guys, and hopefully we're all able to stay healthy will be huge this upcoming year.
That is right, SoCal Hot Sauce. He did mention Lee Beebe has great hands as well.
Best catcher on the team despite being the power back. It's kind of...
Yeah, he said he doesn't necessarily have 4.4 speed. He kind of like leaned in. He's like, isn't necessarily 4.4 speed, but great hands, does a lot of the little things really well, which is obviously what Indiana likes about players. Of the offensive line, he said, quote, "We will be better." It's a bold statement from Curt Cignetti. He went on to expand kind of in his breakout. We'll get to it in a little bit.
That was about who?
The offensive line.
Okay.
They asked him where his confidence.
That's really good to hear.
Yeah.
We need that.
They asked him about where his confidence came from. He said he. Oh, I was like trying to read my own writing here. He said he studied leadership early because he wasn't doing very well at it. He said he read a bunch of different books, and I'm sure that Stephen Covey's 7 Habits of Highly Effective People is probably one of them. He didn't necessarily go into the specific books he read, but he did say that because he wasn't very good early in his season or early in his coaching career, that he did study leadership, which makes sense. And then he said a leader should know the way, go the way, and show the way. And so that's kind of he acts the way he wants his team to act.
Yeah. Confident, knowing that they're going to win, every time. They are a top 10 team, which makes them a championship contender.
Cignetti was asked about recruiting this season versus last season. He said last season they were selling a dream. This season they were selling reality. You're able to put what your vision on the field and show people what it's actually going to look like. And that does wonders for like how you're able to then sell the program to people. And then like he repeated that, better looking athletes with high character coming through that door, which is music to our ears.
Beautiful. I mean, we already knew this. We've been covering recruiting and
if you were been following along, that, but it's nice to hear him say these things out loud. It's like, you think you that's what you're looking at from afar. And then it's like, that's confirmed. It's like, yeah, it's awesome.
20 or so portal classes might be no more. Maybe, we'll hover around,
which is a good thing.
15 to 20. next year, and then probably down to 10 the next. It'll be, yeah, it's just depending on how things go, obviously. That's just the schedule, you know?
It's better to take smaller classes because it means your depth is coming from within, which is where ultimately where you
I
want to
mean, they
be.
took some young transfers. They brought in Knighton, they brought in BB, they brought in Gandy. They're
Andy,
all guys that are coming back next year. Yeah, it's huge.
yep. They asked Sig what gives him the most satisfaction, and he said beating somebody's ass and then singing the song in the locker room after.
Yeah. The
Which was
Indiana
absolutely
song.
incredible. Yeah.
He loves that.
They asked him what lessons he took away from last season. The only thing he said was, "We got to get better up front."
It's true, and they did.
And then they asked him if he had ever heard one of, like, has Pat Coogan given a like rah fire up speech yet that he's heard, and he said no, because he's a transfer. He's hesitant to put him into those leadership positions, but he's heard that over the summer through the spring, like he's earned the right to be in those leadership roles, and he anticipates Coogan being in a leadership position this fall, which is where we anticipated him being as well. But again, just another one of those things you like hearing out loud from the head
I
coach.
called that out. It takes time. These guys aren't going to come in right away and figure things out. It'd be, it's funny because he did bring several transfers to media day this year. This year, obviously, didn't bring any transfers. They were former transfers. But they were Hoosiers last year. But yeah, I mean, it just takes time to find it in. Obviously, Mendoza's the quarterback. He kind of has an in. But, being on the O-line that has Carter Smith, has Drew Evans, has Bray Lynch, not as easy to kind of get buy-in from those guys. Kind of need to show it first.
Got to earn. It's all earned. It's all earned. We then got Fisher, Surratt, and Kamara on the desk with Big Ten Network. They first asked the guys about Mendoza. Surratt said he's his fourth quarterback, so he understands, the bumps and bruises that those early relationships have. He said he loves the way the guy throws the ball, and he's a switch-on type competitor. Like once he gets in the field, he flips the switch. Fisher echoed that. He said Mendoza's phenomenal. He's a competitor. Kid lives in the facility, and he said he probably knows the offense well enough to teach it to other people.
Kid lives in the facility. Of course he does. His favorite thing to do is community. Guys, that's his favorite thing to do is community.
Outside of football, he's like, I don't do anything outside of football.
That's basically him saying, I don't do anything besides football. I don't do that. I don't do that. I do community.
What do you mean off the field? I recover and I eat and I sleep.
I recover and I text my friends and if I have any, and like I'm gonna, he texts his teammates probably. Like those are his best friends. Like it doesn't. I mean, what's awesome about playing football is that you have like 80 best friends that are like on the team. That's like one of the cool things about the sport. It's not just like, oh, you have a team of like 15 or 20 or whatever. It's like a team of like 60 people that you're all pretty like close with, which is a fun time. It's so I can see why Mendoza is like that. And it makes it easy. Like it's actually one of those sports where it's easy to not get distracted. You kind of just get lost in your drive of football and trying to get better. And I think Cignetti likes to bring in guys like that. And I don't have boots on the ground, but I remember the days and yeah.
No, go ahead. Finish your thought.
Was I glitching?
No, there was like a long pause there. I didn't know if you were done with a thought or if you were continuing.
Well, I don't have boots on the ground, but I remember the days when I would see the entire D-line group in the Tom Allen days at the Jungle upstairs at sports. It's like, don't you guys have like workouts tomorrow? Like I'm just here. I'm graduating. Like I don't have homework. Like
yeah, actually, I do remember that. That's funny.
Yeah, I remember those days. They take up the whole table. They get tables.
They get tables working out later.
Yeah, they get tables and like that. I mean, you're allowed to have fun.
It's college. Go do your thing, right?
Right. But I felt like I saw them a little too much. It's kind of the energy I was getting.
The other thing Fisher said about Mendoza is that he has unlimited potential.
I mean, linebackers know quarterbacks pretty well.
That's what I'm
I mean,
saying.
they're
They go to
going
bat.
head to head every day. Those two.
He's saying they chirp. They
Fisher
chirp a
Mendoza
lot.
test match.
The next question was who talks the most trash on the field? Do you have a guess?
Oh, I want to know. Okay, let me hold on. Let me look at
The
roster.
answer was unanimous.
Unanimous.
Not even a second thought before the question was finished. Both Kamara and I can't even. All the guys had the same unanimous answer.
It's either
Kamara,
Pons or
Surratt,
Amari
Fisher.
Farrell.
Kamara, Surratt, Fisher all said the same guy.
It's either Pons or Amari Farrell.
It's neither of those two.
Oh, really?
It was an emphatic Aiden Fisher.
Oh, really? Emphatic. Yeah. Okay. Because I didn't think it was going to be one of the guys there, to be honest.
Is Aiden Fisher, which I love that so much. I love it so much. And it's part of like to bring Byron Baldwin Jr. up. I feel like I'm obligated to bring him up once an episode. But that's one of the things that he said. It being chippy and talking and all, it's just part of his game as a defensive back. And it's like
you want that.
Yeah, you want
Jalen Ramsey was always one of my favorite players because he got AJ Green to swing at him. And AJ Green's like known for not talking or not getting into the trash talk or anything like that. He got him to swing. And having a guy like that, like Fisher, I kind of like that, you know. Wonder what names he's got for Altmaier.
They then asked the guys about their belief in Cignetti and where that comes from. And Surratt started off by saying like Cignetti instilled in them that like when you work and you do the things we tell you to do, it produces wins. And it's not just the Cignetti and the staff saying it. It's like, no, it's actually on paper. Like, look, you do these things, we're going to have successful seasons. So that immediately creates buy-in. Kamara talked about the standard being the standard. And there's like, if you're going to lift, if you're going to watch film, if you're going to recover, if you're at practice, obviously, like it's just, you're doing everything at a high level or you're not doing it at all. It's a wasted motion. And then Fisher talked about Cignetti's attitude being contagious and just that, like, and we could feel it as a fan base. Like, I literally had I had chills before he took the podium because I just knew he's going to say something that like fired me up as an Indiana fan. It's like, that's insane.
Yeah, he's it's amazing because I think he's had to kind of learn that, you know, over time and being able, like you mentioned, how he had to basically learn leadership. Like I don't think that bravado came naturally, and you know he's definitely worked at it, and you know it's probably why he wasn't finding success as a coach early on. He, you know, figured it out, you know, and he is what he is today. It's pretty amazing how calculated he is about all that stuff.